This is music, and is this death metal? Welcome to another episode of Tapeworm Terror. Today we're going to have a look at this one here, Deathstar by Convulse. Now, these guys are considered kind of like a death metal band. I've seen them classified as melodic death metal as well. And I don't know about their other releases. This one, most places where I kind of looked it up, it's listed as melodic death metal. And their logo certainly looks death metal-y, huh? But when I listened to it, I was kind of surprised. I did not expect to hear what's on this one. Before talking about the music, let's just have a look at the J card and the cassette shell itself. The cover artwork actually looks pretty cool, I think. I like the logo, looks awesome, looks death metal-y. And then you have the artwork, which is kind of maybe a planet or some kind of sphere or something like that. Has barbed wire around it, and you've got some giant arachnids or something crawling on it as well. And obviously it's called Deathstar. Right, you have the title here. You have a track list here. It's a full-length album. And if you unfold it, you got some lyrics, and the other side you have a band photo, and you have some lyrics too, and some more graphics, and yeah, it looks very, very cool. I like the theme, the color scheme as well, and this sort of dark kind of science fiction, perhaps kind of theme that's going on. The cassette tape itself, the one I have, is white, and looks the same, like the same on both sides. And then you have this really, really cool sticker label on it that just, depicts, I guess, some of the cover artwork as well. So visually, very, very good stuff, and looks death metal-y, but in a way not. I think you would expect it to be maybe cosmic death metal or something like that. This cover artwork made me think of Obscura, and they're of course like tech death metal. But when I sort of listened to this one for the first time, I was surprised because musically, I don't think there's a whole lot of death metal on this album. There's a lot of traditional heavy metal, lots of maybe a bit more modern sounding traditional heavy metal, if you know what I mean. Lots of hard rock, lots of 70s rock as well. Even some elements of progressive rock, I would say. So the musical side of this sounds more like hard rock heavy metal to me. And that goes for all the songs. Some of the songs are a bit more 70s hard rocky. Other songs are a bit more 80s metal-y, and some of them kind of mix things up. And in some of the songs, you even have your kind of like rainbow or deep purple kind of keyboards going on. So more like an organ sound. Very surprised to hear this. It's very interesting. The music is very, very good. I really enjoy listening to it once the shock had kind of disappeared, I guess, of not getting melodic death metal. But I think this is more enjoyable than at least your sort of typical Gothenburg melodeath. So yeah, hard rock, traditional metal. The vocals are guttural death metal vocals. So you have those going on. And I guess that makes this some kind of death and roll or something. Really, really interesting listen. Lots of great riffs. I would say the bass sounds good. There's a fat bottom actually to the sort of entire sound picture here. Um, Great drumming, very dynamic drumming. The drumming at times also sounds like some stoned drummer in a 60s or 70s hard rock band. But with much more skill and training, obviously, than a lot of the stoned drummers had back then. And I don't think this dude is stoned at all. But great stuff, really good stuff, really interesting stuff. But it's more, again, hard rock, heavy metal, 70s rock, some progressive rock elements as well, with guttural death metal vocals on top. A quite heavy distorted guitar, but I wouldn't consider it like a death metal sounding guitar. The approach is actually it's not identical, it's not the same thing at all, but it does make me think a bit of Swan Song by Carcass. Doesn't sound like Swan Song at all, but the sort of idea of playing some more traditional heavy metal and hard rock and rock music with some harsh vocals on top, and just rocking out rather than deathing out. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same approach here. So really enjoyable stuff. Sometimes when I listen to it, I can't help but think, however, that maybe, I mean, I know that would sort of just make it a classic rock heavy metal album. But sometimes I can't help but wonder, what would this sound like if the vocals were not growled, if the vocals were belted or sung, or something like that. I don't know. But it's. I mean, it works very well, and it's very interesting with the death metal vocals on top of it. But just sometimes, what would it sound like with an Ozzy Osbourne kind of vocals, or Ronnie James Dio kind of vocals, maybe, or whatever, some rock and roll kind of singing. Ian Gillan, maybe even, I don't know. But it works very well with the death growls. So very interesting. Do check this out if you don't mind a bit of death and roll. If you don't mind some hard rock, heavy metal with some death metal vocals. If you like Swan Song, I think you will find this one enjoyable too. In any case, I enjoyed listening to it. Convulse, Deathstar. Is it death metal? I don't even know. I think it's more like hard rock, heavy metal, rock music, just with death metal vocals. Do check it out and form your own opinion. In any case, good stuff, I think. Thanks for watching.